Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers from Europe and Taiwan return to Bosnia and Herzegovina for a third relief distribution. We join the Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital as staff and volunteers prepare for the upcoming hospital accreditation. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. Back in May of last year, Bosnia and Herzegovina was among the countries struck by the region's worst flooding in more than a century. A year and a half has passed, and the Tzu Chi Foundation has not forgotten those in need there. Recently, volunteers from Germany, Italy, Austria, and Taiwan set out from Munich, Germany, traveling over 10 hours to reach Samac, Bosnia and Herzegovina, to hold an aid distribution for 116 families in need. The distribution this time was joined by many young local volunteers who saw it in their hearts to contribute their share. Here's more on that story. Departing from Munich, Germany, volunteers from Germany, Italy, Austria, and Taiwan traveled over 10 hours and crossed 4 countries to reach Bosnia and Herzegovina's Samac. This is Tzu Chi's third aid distribution in this country, and there are many young, new faces among the volunteers.
This is my second time volunteering with Tzu Chi. I'm more than happy to help out in the future.
Mom is a journalist and she told me about you, and as a vegan I've come to see you because I know you are vegetarians and that you are for the peace in the world and everything, so I really liked it.
From translating to helping to move aid items, the local Bosnian volunteers do it all, so much so that even the mayor donned a yellow volunteer's vest.
I'm really thankful to the Tzu Chi volunteers for coming from so far to help us and for giving us so much love.
Tzu Chi's signature relief blankets and multi-purpose folding beds have brought much joy to these 116 families, as all walk away looking forward to the next time they meet. Tzu Chi volunteers in Vietnam recently traveled to Hai Nguyen province to hold 2 scholarship ceremonies for underprivileged yet deserving students. The one held at Hai Nguyen City was a historic one, as it was the first scholarship awards ceremony held locally. A total of 492 students received financial aid, which means the students can start the new semester without monetary worries.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Vietnam arrive in Thanh Ha in Hai Nguyen province to hand out new shoot scholarships.
Master Zheng Yan thinks education is very important, and she hopes to give every child hope through education.
Tzu Chi volunteers handed out scholarships to 150 students, ranging from elementary school to high school. In addition to financial aid, the students also receive stationery and school bags.
Thank you, Taiwan Tzu Chi, for helping me to go to school and for the gifts. Master, thank you.
The volunteers also held another scholarship award ceremony, and it was a historical moment.
This is the first scholarship award ceremony in Hai Nguyen City, and 342 students will receive aid.
It rained heavily the night before, and waters had not receded in some areas, but students and parents still arrived on time.
I am very happy to receive the scholarship today, and I will give the money to my mother to pay for my tuition.
The children were all smiles, as they now have the means to continue with their education and pursue a broader and brighter future.
In our next report, we turn our camera to Pingdong, Taiwan to meet Hoàng奕銘and Xiao Niancheng, both of whom refuse to allow life's challenges to stop them from achieving their goals and dreams. Their ability to rise above adversity has also won them each a new shoot scholarship this year. Let's take a look.
Accepting his scholarship award on stage is Xiao Chen, who was born with microtia, a congenital deformity where the ear is underdeveloped, and was required to undergo a heart surgery when he was just 2 months old. Although he spent most of his childhood in and out of the hospital, it never did stop him from reaching for his dreams.
He doesn't let his impairment get in his way, nor has he shut himself off from the rest of the world. He's not afraid to interact with other people. He helps other children with disabilities wash their clothes.
Unable to express himself through words, Chen shows his gratitude to his family through action, whether it is doing household chores or helping his parents in other areas. For Chen's grandmother, her grandson is her pride and joy.
He wants to show the whole world that he is no different. His parents have a lot of faith in him.
As long as he is safe, healthy, and happy, that is all that matters.
Proud of all that he has accomplished, Chen's entire family attended the award ceremony. This family's strong bonds have helped them weather several storms, and together they are heading towards a better and brighter tomorrow.黄奕銘comes from a single-parent family and lives with her grandmother while her father is working away from home.
We get to chatting when we're working in the kitchen. My grandma and I get along very well.
Although her parents are not by her side, Yiming chooses to embrace life with an optimistic attitude because she knows her grandmother will always be there for her. As the grandma next door is illiterate, Yiming is the one she turns to whenever she needs help. At school, Yiming is always ready to assist her teacher and classmates. Finding joy in helping others, Yiming was awarded an issued scholarship for her contributions.
I often come across many kind-hearted people. I never once thought that helping others is difficult. In fact, helping others brings me joy.
Yiming's heart wells up with gratitude as she accepts Tzu Chi's scholarship award. The girl says she appreciates all the obstacles she has had to face, as it has enabled her to rise above adversity and embrace life with hope and optimism.
Staying in Taiwan, last March in Nanto's DaAi Township, a fire broke out near midnight in an indigenous tribal village, injuring a pair of siblings and their mother. As the children's burn injuries were especially severe, the family has practically spent the entire past year at the hospital recuperating. Last week, the brother and sister pair was finally able to undergo skin reconstruction surgery at Puli Christian Hospital. Thanks to the successful operation, the pair was able to head back to school like other children their age this week.
Here
in Nantou, recess time is filled with much laughter and joy as the Ma siblings play with their peers. Suffering from severe burn injuries, the siblings were out of school for a year. Now that they are back in school, the Department of Education came to provide some counseling.
We have provided counseling for the other students and taught them how to interact with the two. We'll provide further counseling when needed.
Last week, the siblings successfully underwent skin reconstruction surgery at the Puli Christian Hospital. Thanks to the kindness from strangers, the family had received close to $26,000 to help with the children's rehabilitation and medical fees. Originally, the pair was to undergo reconstruction surgery in June. However, due to the Bali Water Park incident, the pair's surgery was postponed until recently. Now healthy, the brother and sister pair is looking forward to leading normal lives once more. The problem of developing solar power is the same as that of the semiconductor industry: pollution. If the waste from the manufacturing of solar panels cannot be made harmless, then solar energy cannot be called a green energy. We now learn about how solar panels are produced and what Taiwan's businesses are doing to deal with its waste. Silicon rocks are carefully lined up inside a quartz crucible. This is the first step to making solar panels. When silicon wafers are produced, they can be converted into photovoltaic cells.
which then forms a solar panel when placed together. It will take several completed modules of solar panels to form a solar power system. However, the entire manufacturing process is not exactly environmentally friendly.
When we first arrive, they will first undergo etching to give them more of a texture.
The wafers are washed in solution to enhance their photovoltaic property. Next, they undergo diffusing, which requires plenty of sulfuric acid and nitrate.
You see how we have to set up exhaust pipes above the assembly lines to help discharge the acidic fumes. They will be incinerated before being discharged. The exhaust is first sent through activated carbon filters before it can be discharged into the atmosphere.
The exhaust from the manufacturing process can be separated into 3 categories and be discharged into the atmosphere after some processing. However, processing the waste solvents is more complicated. If the acid concentration is too high, the solvent will be outsourced to a licensed waste processor. For less acidic or alkaline solvents, they are treated by a private wastewater processing plant.
The solar panel waste that we deal with is from the cutting stage, when silicon ingots are made into wafers. The waste includes dust and cutting liquid.
Some plants are already capable of recycling their used cutting fluid and extracting silicon carbide powder from it.
The fluid is suctioned back into a centrifuge, which can reclaim some of the silicon carbide powder. In terms of recycling, both the reuse of used cutting fluid and separation of silicon and silicon carbide must be done in order to be completely environmentally friendly.
Currently, Taiwan produces about 3,000 to 4,000 tons of solar panel waste a month, but less than 2,000 tons are sent to licensed processors.
In the past, the waste cutting fluid was either burned or buried.
Waste processors develop a whole new recycling process based on their experience.
Here we see a whole row of solar panel waste. Most of it is used lubricant, so I will add some water and mix up the solution. Then the mixture is sent to a large centrifuge, so we can recover the lubricant.
The remaining mud can be further refined.
At the first stage, the concentration of silicon carbide was only 50%. By this stage, the concentration has increased to 80%.
The system can reclaim 500 liters of cutting fluid, 400 kilograms of silicon carbide, and 100 kilograms of silicone powder from 1 ton of used cutting fluid, thus achieving a 100% recycling ratio.
This can be used for molding. These 3 can be used for the steel refining industry. This white one can go back to wafer cutting plants, and the fluid can go back there as well. When the waste from the manufacturing process is completely taken care of by waste processing plants, only then can we say solar power is truly green energy.
The development of green energy is not to create more environmental problems. The goal of the solar power industry should and always be zero pollution.
The Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital will be undergoing hospital accreditation from September 9th to the 11th. In preparation, more than 600 Tzu Chi volunteers and hospital staff worked together to clean up the hospital. Their efforts once again demonstrated that the volunteers are an integral part of the hospital, as well as Tzu Chi's medical culture.
After the cheer, Tzu Chi volunteers and staff members of Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital got ready to clean up this hospital they called home. Volunteers and staff divided into teams to clean every floor, while Superintendent Lai Ningshen chose to clean the toilets.
By cleaning every corner of the hospital, we can live up to the expectation of Master Zheng Yan, who passed down the responsibility of running this hospital to us 15 years ago. We should treat the hospital as if it is our home.
Seeing the hospital as his home, Tzu Chi volunteer Wang Shourong not only took part in the cleanup, but even invited others to join the effort.
Working together to clean, I hope patients will feel our love. I also hope our efforts will help the accreditation commissioners better understand Tzu Chi's medical culture.
More than 600 volunteers and staff members came together to prepare the hospital for the upcoming accreditation and show their determination to continue to work as a team to care for the sick.
Tzu Chi volunteers in China make it a point to care for the elderly, either by bringing food and aid or through other services such as haircuts, baths, or home cleaning. Recently, volunteers out of Quanzhou, China visited the home of an elderly couple on a care visit. With the husband already 86 and his wife paralyzed from the waist down from a stroke, the couple's home has slowly become a mess. Thus, on August 22nd, the volunteers returned with 31 of their Dharma brothers and sisters to give the couple's house a cleaning from top to bottom.
Paralyzed from the waist down due to a stroke, this 80-year-old grandma luxuriates in their attention. This is the grandma's first real bath in over 10 years. Her 86-year-old husband is often out finding and selling recyclables. The couple has enough to eat, but things like household chores are often beyond them. Taking advantage of the good weather, the volunteers get busy with cleaning and washing. And making sure to clear out the accumulated trash they find.
Please help me check how to use that. If it is broken, we can help them fix it.
At the end of the day, the home shines once again, as another family has been brought into the folds of love.
In the United States, Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy in Dallas, Texas, is a school with the mission of nurturing future leaders. Since more than 70% of the students come from impoverished families, Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for these students and sharing Jingsi aphorisms with them since 2011, with Tzu Chi volunteers recently providing vegetarian meals to local residents in celebration of the 7th lunar month. The school principal, associate principal, and some students all lent a helping hand.
Providing vegetarian meals during the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers in Dallas were busy preparing food when some young students show up to help out.
You are not like that? Okay, you put your hands together.
In the United States, especially adolescents, they don't serve, and because they don't feel like they can. And so it's my mission to make sure that they have every opportunity to serve. And also, just on a side note, I love Tzu Chi, so I would do anything to help out.
As Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy aims to develop young men into leaders, the students have come to learn to serve. More than 70% of the students come from impoverished backgrounds, and many grew up without their parents by their side.
Please serve.
Since 2011, Tzu Chi volunteers have been invited to share Jingsi aphorisms and teach students moral values.
It's my first time. I think it's really good though.
Very good. Really good.
Very delicious.
This definitely shows respect not only for others but for yourself, to show that.
The reason I decided to come here was actually to give back to the community, help society, and
sometimes like helping people and carrying stuff may be hard, but just seeing people lighten up, like smile, I guess, it like feels really good.
As the students help promote vegetarianism, they've again been inspired by Tzu Chi volunteers to put their compassion into action.
Returning to Taiwan recently, Tzu Chi volunteers held blessing ceremonies in Da'an and Shilin districts of Taipei. Topics discussed were vegetarianism, Tzu Chi's efforts in the wake of Typhoon Salvador, and observing the 7th lunar month in a manner more aligned with Buddhist practices.
那所以妹妹今天会吃素，完全是我的功劳。是啊。
On stage, children share with the audience the advantages of vegetarianism.
It protects the earth and we don't have to kill animals. It makes us smart and help us get good grades. It also makes us pretty.
Volunteers also shared with the audience stories of Tzu Chi's efforts in Wulai following the recent typhoon and invited more to join their ranks.
Arriving in Wulai, I saw how many Tzu Chi volunteers were there helping out. It was really a moving sight to see. I have never seen a more impressive scene, seeing all those volunteers helping the disaster victims.
Despite the rain outside, dozens gathered in Shilin to hear the volunteers explain how to leave behind the superstitions traditionally associated with the 7th lunar month.
Before, our family would burn joss paper on the 1st and 15th of every lunar month. Now it has been years since we have burned joss paper during our prayers.
From an individual to a family to a community, step by step, Tzu Chi's wisdom is finding its way into the hearts and minds of the public here in Taiwan.
Love isn't something that is given temporarily, but continuing efforts in the eyes of Tzu Chi volunteers. Recently, the volunteers revisited grandmother Chu, who lives on her own in New Taipei City's Taishan district, to install grab bars in her bathroom. However, during the visit, volunteers discovered that there are more problems in the home that need to be fixed, and thus they promised to come back, effectively making the senior smile.
A ditch is right outside of the senior's front door. The senior actually has to cross the gutter whenever she goes in and out of her house, so it's pretty dangerous. We are thinking of a way to make it safer for her. Living alone in New Taipei City's Taishan, 87-year-old grandmother Chu is always worried. However, she lights up whenever the volunteers come visit. The grandmother is so friendly towards us. She welcomes us with open arms each time. Besides making sure all aspects of Grandmother Chu's living environment is safe, the volunteers' mission today is to install handlebars in the bathroom. The volunteers spot more problems as they go about their work and promise to return to take care of them for Grandmother Chu.
At the end of the program, we joined Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang on their last day of their volunteer training seminar, where volunteers took to the stage to express what they have learned in the past few days and how they will further their vow in the days to come. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.